I have the most update regarding President Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship. The Supreme Court has a new ruling on June 27th regarding this executive order. So this ruling invalidates the lower court's judge's preliminary injunction blocking the executive order. It means that Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship will take effect in some part of the United States on June 27th, 2025. When Trump took office, he issued the executive order, birthright citizenship, ruled that only when one of your parents is a U.S. citizen or green card holder, the baby could enjoy the automatic U.S. citizenship if the baby is born in the U.S. It means that if your parents are foreigners holding visas, even you were born in the U.S., you are not considered U.S. citizen. This executive order was sued in multiple states, and lower court judges issued a nationwide preliminary injunction. So that injunction covers everybody who may be impacted by the executive order. White House appealed this preliminary injunction to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled to invalidate this preliminary injunction on June 27th. The Supreme Court believes such preliminary injunction should not be issued, and because it does not provide essential protection. So it means that if your baby was born before July 27th, 2025, your baby will not be impacted by the executive order because that's when the executive order takes effect. But if your baby is born after July 27th, 2025, it may be impacted by the executive order. If your baby is born in Massachusetts, Maryland, and Washington state after July 27th, 2025, your baby will not be impacted by the executive order because the lower court judges in those states has preliminary injunction protecting the residents in their states. But if your baby is born outside of those states and your resident states does not have similar preliminary injunction to protect you, then your baby does not enjoy automatic citizenship if none of the parents is either U.S. citizen or green card holder. So this will put a lot of newborns without U.S. citizenship. The hospital will still issue birth certificate to the babies to prove the birthday and birthplace. It's just if you are not meeting the executive order requirements, your baby cannot get the passport. The Supreme Court's ruling does not rule any substantial of the case, which means it does not evaluate whether the executive order is against the Constitution. It's only blocked the lower court's judges' preliminary injunction cover nationwide. So what does that mean? It means if you think your right has been impacted by the executive order, you have to file your own lawsuit. So a lot of lawsuits are expected to be filed in different kind of states. So if your state has preliminary injunction to cover you, you are good. But if your state does not have such preliminary injunction or judgment, you may need to file one. So only when you file a lawsuit to the court, you may be protected or your constitutional rights may be protected. Of course, those lawsuits will be appealed to the higher court or even to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will then make a determination whether the executive order is constitutional or not. So right now, the June 27th order is only to lift the preliminary injunction issued by the lower court judge. So don't lose the hope on the fight. If you believe your rights has been impacted, consult a lawyer to see if you could find a lawsuit, file in the court, and then to protect your rights. Just like the residents in Maryland, Massachusetts, and the Washington states. So for babies born in those states, their birthright citizenship will be protected. And we provide consultation for lawsuit. Contact us if you need any help. Thank you.